So welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And we do full-length, full car reviews every week on the channel. And halfway through, we stop and have a segment called Questions, Coffee, and Cars. You seem to like it. So now we do a standalone version. And here it is. If you want to get a question in, you follow Andrea. It's Motormouth_Andrea. And then we put them on the video. So let's get into it.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
What are your personal vehicles and what are you sitting in for this episode?
The most asked question we get is, what car are you sitting in? This is our Porsche Cayenne diesel.
Yeah. And I think everybody really likes the panoramic sunroof because it's so open and bright. And it goes, wow, what's that vehicle you're sitting in?
You know what? This is really a shot at me because I don't like sunroofs. So we get a lot of comments on the pano roof. We bought this car because of the diesel.
Yep.
And we didn't get to pick the color and we didn't get to pick the trim. We just got one of several to choose.
Yeah.
We chose this one. No, I have to eat my words every time I say I don't like sunroofs.
He sure does. He sure does. We also have a Honda Civic, which has been really great, very reliable with the 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. And we have a Porsche Cayenne GTS.
Another Porsche Cayenne.
Yeah.
We're kind of addicted.
We
that
are.
one's unique because it's got a manual transmission. One of only 31 sold in Canada. And I think total in North America at about 350 were sold. So they're quite collectible.
And then we might...
Are we gonna, we've put the request in.
I think we are. We're going to do it. We're going to get the Volkswagen GTI with a manual transmission in yellow.
And the reason why we like the yellow one. So apparently we were told when the GTI was launched last year that the yellow is only for the first year.
Yeah.
And then it's going to go away. So we like the yellow one.
We want the yellow.
And it looks better in person than it does in the pictures.
Yeah.
And then the manual transmission is only sold in North America, and I think it's going to go away. So we're kind of at the point now where it's like either we're going to get one now, or it might not be able to get one in the future.
I just think we'll regret it if we don't buy it now. I just have this feeling, in my bones, we're going to regret it. So
and 10 years from now, they'll be collectible.
This is happening. This is happening. Mazda planning to keep the CX5 and CX9 around, or are the CX50 and 90 due to replace them?
CX9 is gone.
Yeah, CX9 is gone. So right now they're going to continue to sell the CX9, but there's going to be no updates to it. Once they're gone, they're gone. It's replaced by the CX90. They say the CX5 is their best seller. It's staying. Yeah,
they're going to have them in parallel. The CX5 and the CX50 are really quite different, actually. The CX5 is a classic compact crossover with a quite upright body style, and the CX50 has... I kind of think it looks a little bit wagonish, and I like that about it. And so they're going to have them in tandem for now.
A little more outdoorsy. What are your thoughts on an extended warranty on a hybrid vehicle such as the Kia Sportage or Sportage in the U.S.? I think that extended warranties are good in some ways. Now, Kia offers a 5-year warranty. That's a lot. So I think you have to ask yourself, are you planning on keeping the vehicle for more than 5 years?
Can I just jump in quickly?
Yeah.
I get asked this question all the time. We also do a live show every Sunday. I host that.
Yeah.
And this comes up a lot, and people want to know, should I buy the extended warranty? Do not buy the extended warranty when the car is new. You have a warranty from the manufacturer. In this case, with Kia, it's for 5 years. So do not buy an extended warranty until the regular warranty from Kia is about to expire. So you've got 5 years to decide if you're going to keep the vehicle. A lot can change in 5 years. You might have triplets, for example, and that car's got to go, and you got to get something bigger. So why would you pay for something when the car's brand new when you might not even keep it after 5 years?
Well, I think the issue with extended warranties is if you buy the extended warranty when the car is brand new for after the 5-year period. It's less money than if you buy it later on. Dealerships will charge more. So I think that's really the concern that people have.
But you're duplicating warranty.
Yes, and Kia has a 5-year warranty already. That is a long time. If you are buying a used one and there isn't a lot left in the warranty, for sure, if you're buying a used vehicle, you know that there could be some repairs later on and you don't have the money to fix them. You know this yourself. Extended warranties are, I think, are great for that. However, make sure you read that extended warranty. We have a follower who bought a BMW X3. He did not read the extended warranty thoroughly.
The CPO warranty, the certified pre-owned warranty.
Yes, and he didn't. He thought it just would
cover everything.
Yeah, and that if he had a problem, it would be fixed. It didn't cover a certain infotainment issue. It was like a $7,000 repair. He was so angry. He only had the vehicle for 3 months. BMW did cover half of it. He did work something out with them, but you got to be really careful. What hybrid cars do you think should be on sale in Canada and the US? So I guess this is ones, that we don't get, that maybe Europe.
I think the one that people are talking about is the CX60,
Biggie,
which is the plug-in hybrid, smaller 5-passenger vehicle.
Yeah.
I think something like that will be coming, but it's not available.
Also, the Hyundai Kona Hybrid. A lot of people really want that. That's not available in North America. Volkswagen has lots of hybrids and plug-in hybrids that you can't get. What about Toyota? Isn't there a Yaris hybrid in the UK?
Well, the Yaris is gone, period. So, I mean, that was such a great little commuter car.
I know.
My brother had the predecessor, the Echo. Remember the Echo? Ugly as a bus, but it ran and ran and ran. He put 350-something thousand kilometers on it, and it fell apart, and then he got something else.
And he lives in Ontario, and he opted not to get the air conditioning. And he keeps his vehicles for a long time. And wowzer, that was a hot commute.
I think he had some regrets later.
I think so. What would be your pick between the Celtos 24EX and Crosstrek 24 Touring? Celtos is about $3,000 cheaper, but historically its engine reliability is fragile.
We're kind of answering this before we get a chance to drive the new one.
I know.
So while this is out, we are up in Kelowna driving this. This recorded obviously before, but we're driving the Crosstrek right now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we can't give you any driving impressions of how the new one is. But on size, the one thing that's great about the Crosstrek is a bit of an in-betweener.
I think that both of them are great options. Kia does an excellent job with the Celtos. There's a lot of value with the Celtos. It's spacious enough, but I think that the Crosstrek is also an excellent option. We really like them both. So I think it's about budget and also drive them. You may prefer one over the other. The Celtos has a higher seating position. Yes. So if you're a tall person, that might not work for you.
Okay, so Crosstrek is an all-new product. It's a new model for 2024. That's the one we're driving right now, but we're not. We're doing it before. But the other one is the Celtos is a mid-cycle refresh. Kia doesn't mess around with their mid-cycle refresh. So they've got a new front clip on the front and the back. That's the bumper and headlamps. And then they changed with the turbocharged engine from a dual clutch to a conventional torque converter style transmission, which will make it smoother and not as jerky. So that's something to consider. And they up the power by 20 horsepower on that model.
Yeah, and you've got new screens in the Celtos. I think that it looks quite beautiful. Of course, the Crosstrek, you've got the larger 11.6-inch touchscreen in there too. So it's a real toss-up. Both great. Drive them if you can get a hold of them and see which one you like better. Just want to say that you all have to be one of the best car reviewers out on YouTube.
Wait a second.
Oh my gosh.
Here in a second. I don't hear anybody disagreeing. So yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay. I'm planning on getting my first car at the end of this year, beginning of next year. The 2024 Hyundai Kona has really gotten my attention. In your opinion, do you believe this car would be a great starter car for a teen in the US? If not, what other cars would you recommend?
Okay, so let's just back up to the Celtos we just talked about a moment ago. So Kia and Hyundai developed their products at the same time. What's quite different, though, is the Celtos was bigger. It's based on a similar platform to the Kona, but now the Kona has grown in size. So the one you're interested in is the one that is now going to be similar size to the Celtos. And we saw it at the New York Auto Show, and I think it looks really good.
Wow, really good. It kind of has a bit of a futuristic look. I would maybe expect it more on the EV, but I like how they went with this look for the gas models as well. I think that there's a lot of great options for you. The Kona is good. The Celtos is good. The Crosstrek is good. What else? The Taos, if you're looking for some extra space from Volkswagen.
Yeah, and
another good one.
That comes with a standard turbo and a dual clutch right out of the box, and that's
Yeah.
one thing that's nice about the Taos. But back to the Kona for a second. The interior I thought was really nicely done. So they've updated it, but they've also left conventional buttons and switches, what I thought was really nice.
Yeah.
Listen, there's so much to choose from in this subcompact category, and Kona, why not? It's a good choice.
Have you heard of any plans from Acura to come out with a subcompact SUV that would compete with vehicles like the Lexus UX, Q3, and Volvo XC40? Definitely rumors. Rumors that Acura is going to come out with a subcompact vehicle. And you know what? They need it.
Having been to international auto shows in other places, especially in China, I remember seeing the Acura stand, and they had these smaller crossover vehicles that looked fantastic.
Yeah.
And I kept on thinking to myself, why don't these guys bring these to the North American market?
I know.
So there is a big hole there that they could fill. So hopefully it'll come.
Do you think we're going to get the new Kona in hybrid here in Canada, or it will be just ICE, N-Line, and electric? No hybrid is going to be available. We were just at the New York Auto Show where they showed the Kona, and specifically they said no hybrid.
Here's the thing. If you like the idea of the Kona, but you want a hybrid, just walk down to the Kia store and get the Niro.
Yeah.
The Niro hybrid has amazing fuel economy. We were blown away by how thrifty it was on our test drive.
And it's pretty spacious. Like
It's
the
very
back
spacious.
seat is excellent. Considering the huge carbon footprint in the manufacturing of EVs, the scarcity of the raw materials, and the inadequacy of the electric power grid, do you really think that electric cars are the future? Well, the government is telling us that they are the future, and truly they are the future, but they're pricey.
I think what's going to happen is in the next few years, there's going to be a groundswell of opposition to the transition to more expensive technology.
Yep.
So it's not that people are opposed to being greener, but they are opposed. When it comes to pocketbook issues, that's when people start to get angry. When you go to a car dealership in, say, 5 or 7 years, and there's nothing but overpriced electric cars, and you just can't afford a new car, that's when people are going to get grumpy.
Yep.
But we're going to be so far down the road towards electrification, that's really all there's going to be. There's a real worry that electric cars are going to leave working people behind.
Yeah, and that we're going to be stuck with taking transit. Or the used car market for gas models and hybrids and plug-in hybrids will be huge. Now, we're still going to have hybrids and plug-in hybrids.
For now.
Yeah, Toyota doesn't plan on eliminating those. And Mazda says that they want to have hybrids and plug-in hybrids available, which are more affordable for many, unless you get the Bolt. That's such a steal of a deal for an electric vehicle.
Yeah, it is a good deal. The march towards electrification has all of these companies bidding up the same raw materials. And when you have all of these companies searching for the same raw materials, it's going to drive the price up. So the theory is the more you make, the price will come down, but we're really not seeing that except for Tesla.
Yeah, not right now. I'm in the market for a 3-row SUV. I've narrowed it down to the Toyota Highlander hybrid, Honda Pilot, and the Kia Telluride. I like each for different reasons. What do you see as the biggest pros and cons of each?
You want big? Which one do you choose, Andrea?
Yeah, well, the Telluride or the Pilot. I mean, those two are your biggest. Pilot offers 8 passenger seating on all trims except for one. The Highlander is a hybrid, so you get some good fuel economy, but the third row is small. It also has a bit of a floaty drive to it,
but
so you got to
Andrea,
make sure you like that.
Just hold on, because you can get a Grande Highlander soon.
coming up.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
We recently downsized from a Hyundai Palisade into a Honda CR-V, and we're looking for a secondary vehicle. I've been thinking on just getting a hatchback like the Mazda 3, Corolla, or Civic. Any suggestions on how to make up my mind? We are after practicality and reliability.
Well, the Honda Civic hatchback is the biggest. So if you need some space for putting people or cargo in, that's the one for space.
Yeah, the Corolla is quite peppy and, you know,
smaller.
a little bit smaller in the rear seat in the cargo space. And the Mazda 3 is the smallest of the out of the lot.
Here's the thing about the Honda versus the Corolla. So yes, the Honda is bigger. It's got great reliability, especially with the base 2-liter engine. However, it is much more expensive than the Corolla.
Yeah.
The Corolla really is the sweet spot. You're going to get a car that's going to run forever and is practical, isn't the biggest, but is a lot cheaper than the Honda.
So I pulled some JD Power numbers, and it is the Corolla with the best reliability at 85 out of 100. The Civic at 80 out of 100, and the Mazda 3 77 out of 100. Interestingly enough, resale value goes to the Civic.
I was going to say the
89 out of 100. Any word on when the new Volvo XC60 will come out? So that was redesigned fully in 2018. So I think you're thinking, boy, it must be time, right, for a redesign. But it looks like the rumors are it's going to be possibly a 2025 model coming out in 2024. But those are rumors.
So if you just look at history, the CX90, the XC, I always get the Mazda mixed up. The XC90, have I got it backwards?
CX
Yes.
is Mazda.
Okay, all right.
XC is
It's
Volvo.
tough. If you look at the XC90, the original one when it came out, they didn't replace it for 12 years.
Long time.
So
who
put
knows?
your seatbelts on. It could be a while.
Looking at a 2024 SUV, thoughts on the GLC RX or XT5?
We're going to be driving the GLC sometime soon.
Yeah.
So we can't wait for that. And the thing about the thing about the Mercedes-Benz, when they bring out a new model, they look the same.
I know. Okay, so the XT5, great vehicle, spacious,
Old.
but old interior, and no update coming anytime soon. I've actually heard rumors that the XT5 might go because Cadillac's going all EV, right? So this could be the last model. RX is great, but gets up there in price.
Yeah, so here's an opportunity. This is really an opportunity for you right now. The GLC new models that are all new coming to the Mercedes-Benz dealerships now, that could open a window for you to get the existing GLC. And the interesting thing about the car, the GLC that's been around for a long time, is it actually still is viable and holds up today. They've updated the screens and a bunch of other things. It still looks good and it still drives like a Mercedes-Benz. So if you can get a little bit of a deal on one of those, that might not be a bad idea.
And I think you'll find that the rear leg room in the XT5, if you have to take kids, will be the biggest for you. Love your show, new subscriber. Welcome aboard. I'm looking at budget-friendly compact cars that are fun to drive and also reliable. Civic is at the top, but pricey. Corolla seems more like an appliance. Kia Hyundai might work, but not sure they're reliable. Looking to stay under $27,000 US.
At $27,000 US, you can pick a lot. One that you might want to consider if you're wanting to have some fun, and if you is the Jetta GLI.
Yeah, GLI, manual transmission, maybe?
If you want the manual.
Yeah.
And that comes basically with everything in it for one price. That's one to consider.
You know what two that I really like, the Nissan Sentra.
Great car, yeah.
It's kind of fun. You can get a manual transmission. It's priced really well. I mean, you can go with the top trim and you'll be, gosh, I think you're under $25,000
Well, here's
US.
the thing is the top trim of that car in Canada with Canadian dollars is $27,000. So you got a lot of room there. It's a little bit underpowered. It's adequate.
Yeah,
it's adequate. I would call it.
And then the other one is the Forte GT. That's another one you can get the manual transmission. It's priced really well.
Do they want a manual?
They didn't say, but I'm just saying you can get a manual, or you can get a CVT, or you can get an automatic transmission.
Listen,
what about the Mazda? That's another good one.
I think really, to be honest with you, the best all-rounder in that group to give you reliability, to give you space, and actually is fun to drive when you throw it into the corners is the Civic.
I know.
The Civic, we just had one this last week, and you know what? It doesn't really step a foot wrong anywhere. The only thing is they've put the price up a bit, but you know what? It's a Honda Civic, and from the question earlier, it has the best resale value.
Best resale value. So we own a Honda Civic, so we obviously thought that that was the way to go.
And we're going to get a GTI. Nice.
Love these videos. Just watched episode 11.
Nice.
Awesome. My parents just retired. They're looking to replace their Forester and Malibu, about 10 years old, with a crossover or larger hatchback or wagon.
Oh, lots of choices there.
Yeah, and they want all-wheel drive. And the grandkids, they might take some grandkids too. I think the Corolla Hybrid.
How big do they want,
or
though?
gas model. It sounds like they want a smaller crossover.
Okay, so what do they have now?
With
They
a
have
hatchback or a wagon. They're
So they've
coming
got a
from a
Forester?
Malibu or a Forester.
Malibu or a Forester?
Forester is quite big. I mean, it's got kind of that open
Well, you could do a
feeling.
Crosstrek. If you wanted to downsize, you
Crosstrek.
could do a Crosstrek.
You could. The back seat's okay for car seats in the Crosstrek.
Yeah,
Corolla,
and great fuel economy on the
yeah,
Crosstrek.
Yeah, Corolla.
Corolla Cross has actually deceivingly big cargo area.
Yeah, yeah. You could even do the Mazda CX5 or CX50, but I think you said comfortable for drive, so I don't know about the seats in the CX50 and CX5, but Toyota makes comfortable seats. You know what? You know who makes great seats? Ford. What about the Escape? Maybe a hybrid?
No, the thing is, you know what the perfect vehicle is for this? This is the perfect vehicle. It's not really perfect, but I'm going to describe what it is. The perfect vehicle for grandparents that need to take kids, a really well-designed vehicle, is the Honda HR-V.
Yes.
I mean, the packaging on that is fantastic. Just like the Honda Civic, it's got a big back seat, a big cargo area, but they dropped the ball on the price. It's way too expensive. It doesn't have armrests in the back seat, things like that.
But they're in the U.S., so they've got some better pricing.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're in the United States, you know what? The HR-V might be not a bad idea.
HRV, or what about staying with Subaru and getting an Outback? They said a wagon, maybe.
Yeah, well, yeah. Outback's cool. Great resale value on an Outback.
Yeah, so lots of things, lots of variety there for you. I discovered your channel recently, and thanks for the amazing work you are doing. I love all you guys and your compliments. I'm in the market.
I don't hear anybody disagreeing with that.
Oh, wow. Look at us today. I'm in the market for an SUV hybrid, CR-V or Highlander. With the rebate, a PHEV is cheaper. Outlander, you put in brackets here. But is it really worth it in the long run if I can't charge in my building?
If you don't have a plug, do not buy a plug-in.
No.
It's pretty basic. Not mean to be cheeky with you, but if you don't have a place to plug in a vehicle that needs to be plugged in, get a hybrid.
Get a hybrid. Do not get a plug-in hybrid.
That was the easiest question today.
It was.
If you don't have a plug, you ain't getting a plug-in.
You guys are the best by far, even in Quebec. Ooh, we'll have to tell our Quebec journalist. Is it really worth to buy a hybrid instead of a gas model? If we take a 2023 Honda CR-V, for example,
Well, that's too expensive.
yeah, with the price difference, the gas model is still very good on fuel economy. LX at 39,705 and the hybrid at 51,000. I mean, you have to save on fuel for a long time to get even.
Well, the problem we had also is when we drove the hybrid. It's a nice driving vehicle. I think the CR-V is excellent.
Yeah.
Pricing is wackadoodle here in Canada. In the U.S., it's much better. But this person's absolutely right.
Yeah.
So not only are you paying $11,000 more, you've got to pay tax on that an additional $11,000.
Yeah.
And then if you're leasing or financing it, you've got to pay the interest on that. So you can buy a hell of a lot of gas for $11,000 plus. So if you run the numbers, you're probably better with the gas, which is already efficient.
The only thing I caution, and you're absolutely right, I don't think that this CR-V is a good example just because Honda's pricing is crazy. But I do believe that hybrids will have better resale value in the long run compared to gas models. Any thoughts on the 2024 Ford Escape, and will you be driving it?
We're waiting to get it.
I hope. I mean, it's out. I see it on the road, and we still don't have it. So we're hoping Ford's going to bring one into the press fleet.
So the interesting thing is, we were just talking about hybrids a moment ago. The Ford Escape Hybrid has the best fuel economy of a non-plug-in hybrid available on the market. So if it's all about fuel economy, the Ford delivers. So it actually is a very comfortable vehicle.
Yeah.
They've updated the interior now with larger screens. They did a front and rear facelift to it. And I think, you know what? Considering what they charge for it, it is a lot of vehicle for the money.
Yeah, and Ford had some issues with reliability with the Escape on all three powertrains, but because it's been out for a while and they're continuing to use the same powertrains, I think I would feel more confident now recommending the Escape. It seems to have improved quite a bit. The plug-in hybrid is only a front-wheel drive model, but some may be able to get away with it.
Every time I drive one, my takeaway is always, man, it's a nice driving vehicle.
Yeah.
It's got good road feel. The seats are really comfortable, and it's a good all-rounder, and
Yeah.
it is not going to break the bank
Nope.
to buy.
And that's it. That is episode 12
12.
of Questions, Coffee, and Cars. We're really getting through these. So happy that you guys enjoy it. Thanks for watching. We'll continue to put this video out.
You know what interesting, Andrea, as I said,
Yeah.
I don't hear anybody saying anything different. You know what? Somebody's going to be cheeky and write something like,
Yeah.
you guys suck.
No,
it's
you
okay.
guys are all too nice.
We can take it. That's
No,
okay.
you're
And
all
don't
too
forget
nice.
to follow along. Make sure you subscribe and follow on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea, and
Yeah.
then we're all done, right?
Yep, we're all done. We'll see you for episode 13.